That's the challenge, right? Like that sustained success, and it is very hard to do. And you know, our hope is that a lot of the first years that we've brought in to kind of fill some of the holes that were left by the graduating class, they step up and they really perform the way that we believe that they can, and the way that we project them to. And if we do that and our returners have done what they need to do in the off season and keep training hard and doing the things that they need to do here in season, then I think we can continue to see success. It's hard to maintain where we were. It is, right? And so, we're going into it and saying, okay, here's where we've been. Here's, the last few years. And you're right. It's been probably the best stretch that maybe this program has seen. Okay, let's not just focus on that, but let's focus on ourselves right now. Let's control what we can control. Let's do what we need to do. That stuff's in the past. Let's just focus on this year, and take it one step at a time. And I think as long as we do that, then I think good things can happen. Their impact went well beyond the pool. Certainly, they had a lot of success in the water, but their leadership and just the people that they were in really kind of honing our culture and all of that was huge. And so their impact really transcended what they did in the water. And so it's hard. It's always going to be hard to replace quality seniors, both as people and as athletes, and so we're looking at it this year and saying, okay, well, now there's an opportunity for some new people to step up, and maybe some voices to kind of rise up a little bit that maybe haven't felt comfortable doing that in the past. And so I think both from an athletic standpoint and from a team leadership standpoint, there's a lot of opportunities for people. And so it's been nice so far to see those people kind of step into some of those new roles. It absolutely prepares them for for a lot of success, right? It can be very challenging. It can be physically and mentally draining to see difficult competition multiple times a year, and in back-to-back stretches. It can be really hard, and it can kind of wear you out. But when you look at swimming and you look at a championship meet, it's over multiple days, and so you have to be able to overcome those things, and you have to be able to maybe put a bad race behind you, or a bad couple dives on a board behind you, and get up and do it again, right? And so I think that kind of that sustained high level of competition just does nothing but kind of sharpen us up for when we are, at our midseason meet down at Kenyon, or we're at the UA championship, or we're at the NCAA championship. And so when we get to some of those meets, we're used to it. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's no big deal, but we're used to it, and we're more comfortable with it. Nothing comes out and surprises us. Obviously this weekend, our first meet, that's exciting, right? I'm looking forward to that because it's the first one right out of the gate, and we're going to see kind of where we're at, and we're going to see the first years do stuff, and that's awesome, right? Obviously, mid-season, that's always, a really not only kind of a good meet, but it's also a chance for our team to really come together, on deck, and when we're staying down at Kenyon. So it really brings the team together really well. And then the second half of the year, we've got our senior meet, which is always a big deal, always kind of a bittersweet moment, right? Obviously the UA championship. And then our own Spartan Invitational at the end of the year that, we did for the first time last year, and we had a blast with it. And our team really swam very well, and the other teams that came in, I think they had a lot of fun with it too. And it really, it was great. And I think that we did it well. And, so I've kind of got a lot of meets I'm looking forward to, and a lot of different reasons why. But competition's fun, right? That's part of why we're doing this. And so, just to get up and go, no matter who we're competing against, there's always something that we can learn from it, whether, we win the meet or lose the meet or have good performances or bad performances. There's always things that we can learn from it. And so it's always exciting to get to compete. This year, for us to see, that high level of success, or even just as you said, however, I kind of want to define success. I think that we're going to do it together. I think that it's going to be a full team effort, from the coaching staff on down, with the athletes supporting each other, caring for each other, pushing each other, all that stuff, right? I think that that's the way that we're going to see it this year. And I think that we've already seen that, and it's just growing, and that's awesome to see, because I do think that it's going to take all of us this year to pick each other up and to have each other's backs and do all those things that we need to do as a team. Even though swimming, right, it's an individual sport in a team concept, they go hand in hand. And I think that for us to see the success that we want, we're going to need to do it together.